This $20 plant lets you build a 10-foot privacy wall, and most landscapers will never mention it. I spent weeks looking into the real cost of backyard privacy, and the numbers turned out to be insane. A standard wood privacy fence costs $5,000 to $10,000 installed and starts deteriorating within 5 to 7 years. A single Thuja Green Giant Arborvitae costs $20 to $55, and it lasts for decades. Plant these trees along your property line, and you get a living privacy wall for under $900. None of that is secret. It is just something nobody ever explains to you out loud. Stay until the end, because there is a staggered planting method that fills in gaps much faster and delivers full privacy 2 years sooner at 30% less cost. By the time this video ends, you will know exactly how to do it. Let me walk you through the specific plants that actually work, because not every privacy plant deserves your money, and a few of them will genuinely ruin your property. I've seen people drop $2,000 on a row of the wrong species and end up with a line of brown sticks 18 months later. So species selection matters more than anything. For most of the country, the gold standard remains Thuja Green Giant. It thrives in United States Department of Agriculture zones 5 through 9, which covers the vast majority of the continental United States, and it puts on 3 to 5 feet of new growth per year. Deer leave it alone. Drought doesn't kill it once it's established, and at $20 to $55 for a 1 to 3 gallon container from Home Depot or Lowe's, nothing else comes close on cost per foot of privacy. If you don't know your hardiness zone, look it up before you buy a single plant, because that one number determines whether your investment thrives or dies in the first winter. Cold climates tell a different story. If you live in Minnesota, Wisconsin, or Montana, Thuja Green Giant won't survive your winters, and your pick becomes emerald green. Arborvitae at $15 to $42 per plant. That one handles Zone 3 without flinching. The trade-off is speed, because it only puts on 6 to 12 inches per year. Some nurseries market 2 to 3 feet of annual growth, but that's advertising, not botany. Plant these 3 feet apart and expect 5 to 7 years before you get full coverage. For the budget-conscious, privet sits in a league of its own. Bare root plants cost as little as $3 to $10 each. Growth hits 2 to 3 plus feet per year, and 100 feet of privet hedge can run as low as $200 total. But here's the thing. Chinese privet and glossy privet carry an invasive species classification across much of the southeastern United States, which means you need to check local regulations and look for sterile cultivars before committing. If you live anywhere from Virginia to Texas, search your state's invasive species list before you order. And here's the part nobody talks about. Leyland cypress, the tree everyone's neighbor planted back in 2008, grows 3 to 4 feet a year and costs $15 to $40. Sounds perfect, right? Here's the problem. A fungal disease called Ceridium canker is wiping out leyland populations across the southeast, and no chemical treatment exists for it. A plant pathologist at the University of Georgia put it bluntly: they are dying, and it's kind of expected. Typical lifespan tops out around 25 years before serious decline sets in, and many horticultural experts now actively steer people away from this species. If your neighbor's row of Leylandi is browning from the inside out, you're watching what happens when someone bets on the wrong plant. 2 more species worth knowing about. Clumping bamboo, specifically Bambusa multiplex, delivers a tropical look with 3 to 5 feet of annual growth up to 15 or 25 feet tall. Priced at $35 to $75 per plant, but limited to zones 7 through 11. And this next part matters more than anything else I'll say about bamboo. You must plant clumping varieties, never running bamboo. Running types spread underground as much as 15 feet per year and can crack through asphalt and sewer lines. New York banned certain species outright back in 2014. New Jersey classified running bamboo as a prohibited invasive in 2026, and one Connecticut homeowner testified before the state legislature that her properties lost 33% of their value from a neighbor's bamboo infestation. Always specify clumping. Then there's European hornbeam at $30 to $85 per plant. Slower at 1 to 2 feet of growth a year, but with a trick that compensates. When you hedge it, the dead leaves stay attached through winter, turning coppery brown and holding on until spring. Technically deciduous, but you still get screening in the off-season. Have you dealt with a plant wall that went wrong? Drop it in the comments because I want to hear the horror stories. So that covers the plants themselves, what they cost, and what they can do. Now we're getting into the part that most people never think about, because the economics of the landscaping industry actually explain why this option stays buried. I talked to a homeowner last year who got 3 quotes for a privacy hedge, and every single one came back over $7,000. She ended up doing it herself for under $1,200. That price gap isn't an accident, and once you understand the math, you'll see why. Professional privacy hedge installation runs $15 to $45 per linear foot. For 200 feet. That puts you between $3,000 and $9,000 in plants and labor alone. Pile on soil amendments, mulch, drip irrigation, delivery, and a plant warranty, and the total climbs to $6,000 to $12,000 without breaking a sweat. The average landscaping project nationally costs $8,150, which means the figure in this video's title isn't clickbait, it's the median. The markup structure tells the rest of the story. Landscapers purchase plants at 20 to 40% below retail from wholesale nurseries, then charge customers at or above retail, netting 100% or more on the wholesale cost. Industry forums are full of examples, like one landscaper who bought a tree for $65 wholesale and billed over $300 installed. But the deeper incentive is recurring revenue, and that's where the real explanation lives. Maintenance contracts captured 45% of the entire United States landscaping market in 2024, and leading providers report that recurring agreements now account for over 75% of new residential bookings. Industry publications openly coach landscapers to package installation services with maintenance contracts to upsell existing clients. The business model rewards selling you something that needs them forever, not something that grows on its own and asks nothing in return. If you've already gotten a quote for a privacy hedge and the number felt high, now you know where that number came from. Hey, if this is already saving you money, hit that like button and subscribe. I'm trying to get this information to more homeowners before they sign a $10,000 fence contract. Alright, so now you know the plants and you know the industry. This last part is where it all becomes actionable, because knowing the prices means nothing if you put them in the ground wrong. Spacing comes first. Thuja Green Giant needs 5 to 6 feet between plants. Emerald Green wants 3 feet. And privet sits at 2 to 3. The single most common mistake do-it-yourselfers make is cramming everything too close together. It feels right because you want instant coverage, but tight spacing chokes airflow, invites disease, and creates uneven growth that looks worse than no hedge at all. If you already planted a hedge and noticed some of them thinning out or browning on the interior, crowded spacing is almost always the reason. Walk out right now and look at your property line. If you've got 150 feet of perimeter and you're planting Thuja Green Giant at 5 feet apart, you need 30 plants. At $20 to $30 each, that's $600 to $900 in plant costs. Toss in mulch, a drip irrigation kit, and a rented auger. $60 to $100 a day, and your total lands between $1,000 and $1,500. One technique that changes everything is staggered double row planting, where you run 2 parallel rows with the plants offset diagonally and about 3 feet between the rows. Oregon State Extension specifically recommends this layout for better airflow and a dramatically fuller screen. And here's a trick I found buried in the research that most guides skip entirely. Mix fast growers with slow growers. Plant privet alongside Arborvitae. Let the privet give you privacy within 1 to 2 years, while the Arborvitae matures behind it, and then remove the privet once the permanent hedge fills in. That approach delivers privacy 2 years faster at roughly 30% less cost. Timing matters too. Fall is the best planting season because roots establish over winter before spring growth kicks in, and fall nursery clearances can knock 40 to 60% off your plant costs. Plan for 2 to 4 full weekend days to cover 100 to 200 feet. A shovel, boots, and a bad attitude will carry you through it. Here's the 20-year math that ties all of this together. A 200-foot wood fence costs $12,000 to $17,000 over 2 decades once you account for maintenance and at least 1 replacement cycle. A do-it-yourself living hedge costs roughly $3,000 to $5,000 over that same stretch, including tools, irrigation, and modest annual upkeep. That gap represents savings of up to 75%. But the part that never makes it into the fence contractor's quote is what happens to value over time. A fence depreciates to zero the moment it goes up. A living hedge appreciates. A Virginia Tech study found that mature landscaping increases home value by 5.5% to nearly 13%. And on a $300,000 home, that translates to $16,000 to $38,000 in added equity. Your privacy wall isn't just blocking your neighbor's line of sight. It's building wealth every year. It grows. $20 for the plant. A weekend of work. A wall that climbs taller every season, never needs replacing, and makes your house worth more than the day you planted it. That's the deal nobody's offering you, which means you have to go build it yourself.